He's a relatively unknown candidate running for office based on what he says is his incredible resume.
But as News Channel 5 Investigates discovered, all may not be as it appears. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Rory Johnston. We're talking about Jeff Feldman, candidate for alderman in what has become a hotly contested election down in Franklin.
Feldman's claims about his resume caught the ear of our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams.
During my investigation of Franklin mayoral candidate Gabrielle Hansen, I listened to several candidate forums with the people who want to be elected alderman. In the case of Jeff Feldman, a man who moved here from California just a year ago, his claims about himself and his grand accomplishments made me think there just might be more to the story.
You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, and I think we need some people in government here that are going to be honest and transparent.
News Channel 5 Investigates came to this candidate's forum like Franklin voters with questions for alderman candidate Jeff Feldman. Mr. Feldman, we'd like to ask you about your bio
another
now.
Time, Phil.
Questions about his big claims about the vast experience he'd bring to the job. You list on your bio that you had an aerospace company. What was that company?
Look it up.
Questions about his claim that on top of being an astute businessman, he's also an experienced mental health professional. How can you claim to be a therapist when you never had such a license?
Okay. Nice to meet you.
He'd eventually agreed to sit down and answer our questions. And you said you didn't trust me.
Well, that is true. Yes, that is one of the things.
Although it quickly became clear that Feldman blamed us for this scene.
Get your camera out of my face!
Or Gabrielle Hansen supporters who were also backing him tried to physically block News Channel 5 from attending a mayoral forum in his West Haven neighborhood.
We like to keep things in West Haven very insulated, and we did that until you showed up the other day and you posted people's addresses online.
I did not post people's addresses online.
Okay. So the question I want to ask
you just said something that's absolutely not true.
Okay.
But it would not be the only questionable statement to have come out of Jeff Feldman's mouth.
What do you do?
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've done a lot of different things.
Especially as we quizzed him about his campaign bio, where he claims to have been managing partner / owner in several businesses, including an aerospace business. I look at your resume and I don't see any aerospace companies on there.
So what resume do you have of mine?
We showed him the resumes that we had uncovered, but soon he was downplaying the value of those resumes.
You know, I don't update most of this stuff. I haven't worked for anybody.
So what was the aerospace company that you were the managing partner or owner of?
Well, I was a partner of that company. It was in California.
What company?
I'm not going to give you the name. It's they work with the Department of Defense.
If you were a managing partner or owner of an aerospace company,
I was a partner.
Why would you not say the name of the company?
Because it's a privately held company, and they work with the Department of Defense, and it's not for me to put that out there.
But companies are registered with the state of California.
I understand that.
So why won't you say that?
Because I respect privacy.
Why should people believe this company even exists if you won't give the name?
They don't have to. That's okay.
Jeff Feldman's bio also lists an apparel printing company that he supposedly headed. I don't see an apparel printing company.
Because I don't update my resume, Phil. I haven't worked for anybody.
What was the name of that company?
That was. Wow, you're putting me on the spot. All of a sudden, I'm trying.
If you were the managing partner or owner, shouldn't you remember?
I was. Yes. You know, sometimes you have. Print and cultivate.
Print
and cultivate.
And cultivate.
Yes, I was a partner there.
But News Channel 5 Investigates later tracked down the owner of Print and Cultivate, who told us Feldman worked there in sales, but was never a partner nor an owner.
Phil, what is the obsession with my so-called resume?
Well, anyone who wants to run for office should be honest about their credentials.
So why are we asking other people about that?
Because I have looked at other candidates' resumes, that theirs don't have the holes that yours...
Well, mine has holes because I don't work for anybody. But I also love psychology, and a little over a decade ago, I also became a therapist and started my own practice on the side.
In candidate interviews and on his campaign bio, Feldman also says, quote, I went to school and became a therapist, and he references his psychology background. So you would help people sort through their psychological issues, marriage issues?
Whatever they want, yes, whatever they wanted to talk about.
Where did you go to school?
In Los Angeles.
Which school?
I went to Anderson and Anderson.
But Anderson and Anderson, we discovered, is a California company that sells a 40-hour class for those wanting to become certified anger management facilitators. That's a 40-hour course?
I don't remember how many hours it was.
Well,
but I was, as a business person, I was able to turn that into a business, and it helped a lot of people. A
2001 Los Angeles Times article described the situation there where anybody can set up a program, call it anger management, and hope to get court referrals. You keep your fingers crossed and hope they are doing a good job. Feldman argues it's all the same.
We don't necessarily always want to go to Vanderbilt, where they support ideologies instead of real medical.
You were not licensed as a marriage and family therapist.
I was not licensed.
You were not licensed as a clinical social worker.
I was not.
You were not licensed as a clinical counselor.
I was not.
You were not licensed as an educational psychologist.
I was not licensed, no.
So isn't it a bit misleading to say you were a therapist?
No.
By the way, it's worth noting you don't have Republicans running against Democrats in any of these races. Pretty much everyone is a Republican. As for Jeff Feldman, we also had questions about some provocative Facebook posts that he appears to have made. We'll show you what he had to say as our investigation continues. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.